It's time for Michigan Sports Talk Morning Show, broadcasting live all across the state of Michigan and Northwest Ohio. This is X's and Bros.
Crowd is set again. Oh, John, boom. Swings it out to Sadiq Bey. Gets Benny in the corner.
To Abdul-Rahman at midcourt. Extra pass. And it goes for the win. The three-pointer by Jordan Poole. Here's the give. Walker! Kenneth Walker! Touchdown! Smarty!
Goff's got it. Back, looks, throws, ends up. Yes! Caught! Touchdown, Detroit Lions! They did it! Amon-Ra St. Brown in the receiving end!
Sends one to deep left center field. Back it goes, and that ball's out of here! A grand slam from Miguel Cabrera. He's got 2 goals. Larkin in on goal. Scores! His first career hat trick in his 7th season for Dylan Larkin.
Here's your host, Anthony Bellino.
Rise and shine, folks. Good Tuesday morning to you. It is the 28th and final day of the month of February. Welcome here to X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports and Network. Danny Cahala, Ryan Elke, Anthony Bellino, all joining you. Thank you for joining us, no matter who you are, where you are, how you may be listening, all across the great state of Michigan and in Northwest Ohio as well. From Traverse City down to the Glass City, GR to the Motor City, we say good morning to you. We welcome you. We thank you. We appreciate you. And, of course, we encourage you. Join the program at any time. Text the keyword sports radio. Send that to 21,000. Sports radio to 21000. Myers Supercenter guest line 248-951-2176, 248-951-2176. We're on Twitter at XB Mornings, Facebook, X's and Bros. And, of course, good morning to our television audience as well. BCSN on Buckeye Broadband is streaming live worldwide on our YouTube page at Michigan Sports and Network. Added.com to that to find our website. XBMornings at gmail.com is our fan feedback email inbox. And you can find us all individually on Twitter. Danny Cahalan is at Dan in the studio. Ryan Elke is at RyanL_Key. And I'm Anthony Bellino at AC Bellino. Gentlemen, good morning to both of you. How are you on this Tuesday? What's going on over there? How is life? Everything good?
Yeah, life's good. It's drier this morning than it was yesterday. Very wet all day. Nasty day here. I don't know how it was down there, Anthony.
Just a ridiculous day of rain.
Yeah. Just, are you the type that would rather that have been snow?
No, absolutely.
I mean, because now it's gone.
Yeah, absolutely not.
But now I think the rumor is there's a big storm Friday.
What kind of storm?
The bad kind.
It's possible. The report today is that it might be a little too warm for it to be snow. It's going to be around 35 degrees Friday, so probably just man. What we saw yesterday, kind of.
More rain.
Did they already cancel school?
Better not. The kids are going anyway.
Here, you take these children. Open those doors. Man, that's rain would definitely be better than snow, in my opinion. Not a big snow guy though. That's just me. It's nice on Christmas for kids, for Santa Claus. Outside of that, really just makes life a lot more difficult. Makes driving more difficult. Makes everything harder. And people already can't drive. So that you add some precipitation into the mix, and it's just not a good combo. Humans, motor vehicles, precipitation, bad mix there. So hopefully it is just rain. So I take it. I didn't look at the forecast at all. I was just kind of hoping that one of these days it would be a little bit warmer, and if that was the case, it would be a good opportunity to be able to get out, maybe hit some range. It looks like it's going to rain tomorrow, 50% chance. And then Friday, I'm seeing 80% chance of rain. By the way, that's not the actual percentage that is it going to rain or is it going to be dry? That's the percentage of the the coverage area that's going to get rain. Did you guys know that?
I don't know if I don't know what I believe about the weather app.
Do you believe, I feel like aliens are more realistic than the weather predictors, like AccuWeather.
They're fear mongers.
They try, but yeah, it's all about which is great in the grocery business. Like the minute they mention snowpocalypse, like Goodbye to all the milk, bread, and cheese. Like, I don't. What are you guys making? French toast? Like, what's going on here? Like, why did you buy like 2 dozen eggs and 4 loaves of bread and a gallon of milk for 2 days of snow? Like, what's going on here?
I say most people are against big pharma or tobacco companies. Dan's sitting there going, "Big weather's ruining this world."
Big government and their satellites that are poisoning the.
No, what
clouds.
I have issue with is they will talk about a storm like there's going to be a foot of snow, and we get 2 inches, and then we won't hear about a storm, and we wake up to 5 inches. That's the frustrating part.
Yeah, it's it's tough. Like, what are you gonna do? You're trying to predict the weather, and I get it. I'll try my best. I mean, like, look. And by the way, did you guys see that somebody was posting the CEO of DTE's address? Did you guys see that on the internet?
I did not, but can we stop doing that stuff?
Wildly irresponsible. I mean, people were mad. People were very upset that the power wasn't on. It's like, guys, like, what do you think the CEO is going to do? Like, go grab the giant lever and like flip it up, and all the power is going to come on? Like, what do you think he's going to do?
Exactly
like,
that.
They have shareholders to answer to as well. Like, people are going to get a credit. They're trying to offer free. They try to offer
a $35 credit.
$35 credit
for a week without power.
Is that how much it is a week to power your home?
Yeah.
I feel like they should just take the averages to your account. I mean, they can see it. So, whatever a week is. I mean, you didn't have power for the week, so you didn't use their power. So therefore, boom. I mean, but you act like people like weren't out there trying to like work around and get it fixed.
Say a $35 credit. What does that mean to the average household? What does it mean to people that own 2 grocery stores? What's it to you? But like $35 is different for some people that have been without power for a week.
Yeah, it's
because it's not $35 if you own a business. You're out a lot more money than just your mortgage if you're the money than if you own a business. Like, you're not making that money also.
Especially if your business isn't just like an office. If your business runs like machinery.
Right. So that's where I think
refrigeration.
Yeah, where it's the $35 blanket credit is just like, come on, you guys can do a little better for some people than $35.
I mean, what would how much you think the electric bill was for Stafford's home? Stadium lighting outside, 8,000 square feet. Like, would they get more than $35? Bet you his wife would just be like at their doorstep. She probably would be tweeting out.
She was the one that was probably had the address.
Man, typical. Lots going on in the sports world yesterday. I mean, my goodness. One of the a couple of the bigger stories as we get to closer and closer as the combine, we're eventually going to see guys working out. But this one I thought was kind of interesting because I'm very interested in this gentleman's service. But Jalen Carter will not be working out. The Georgia defensive lineman, considered to be one of the top players, probably going to be gone at number 6 if the Lions stay there. But yeah, he's going to skip and not participate the workout portion of this week's scouting combine. He'll conduct interviews with teams, undergo his physical, according to his agent, Drew Rosenhaus. Carter announced that he was foregoing the senior season, entering the draft. Why are you not participating in nagging ankle injury? Limited his play for most of the first half of the season. Also suffered a knee injury in October that caused him to miss a couple games. So what's really the status there? Maybe it will scare some teams off. They'll get worried, and then he'll fall to the Lions at 6 because he didn't work out. This is all part.
I'll text Drew and see if I can make that happen.
I'll text Brad and tell him to text Drew. Like, yeah, don't work out. Tell him that physical, like, it doesn't look good. There's like something going on there. He's got bugs in his ankle, and it's not gonna be healthy. And then we'll take him at 6, and then we could all just we could throw a big party. We'll step aside. We had spring training last night. Just an awful day for Detroit sports. Don't go anywhere. Keep it locked right here at X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network.
Huge here for my good friend Tom Rosenbach. Now, he's a managing partner at Bean Garter. They are one of America's top accounting and business firms, and they're stronger than ever before with their new partnership with Doran Mayhew from the east side of Michigan. If you're a small business, big business, and you're looking for the professionals who can help your business on any tax or business need you have, go to BeanGarter.com. That is BeanGarter.com. And we're close to March Madness, so be looking for our huge bracket challenge where you could win big cash, courtesy of Tom Rosenbach and his team from Bean Garter. We'll have more details in the coming weeks. But if you're a business decision maker or owner and you're looking for professionals to help your business, contact Tom Rosenbach and his team at Bean Garter. BeanGarter.com.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The new M-Perks is here. Reward yourself with dollars off your purchases, fuel rewards, and more at Meijer. Earn 10 points on nearly every dollar you spend when you shop in-store or on Meijer.com. Then use your points to claim and redeem rewards any way you want. Plus, earn points for every qualifying prescription filled at your Meijer pharmacy. Download the Meijer app to sign up, or if you're already using M-Perks, start earning points and saving today. Save more with M-Perks. Exclusions apply. See Meijer.com to learn more.
Share your thoughts all morning long on the Meyer Guest Line. Call 248-951-2176. That's 248-951-2176. Now, back to Danny, Ryan, and AB.
Welcome back here to X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network. Great to have you riding along with us. Got to ask you guys, did you see any tweets from Shams yesterday? Anything at all?
Maybe.
Shams, Sharania.
Is it Sham? He's going by Shams now, I feel like.
Is it Shams?
He changed it up once he got popular.
Throw an H in there. All right. There's fear. Lakers star LeBron James is likely to miss an extended period of time with a right foot injury that he suffered.
I know where you're going with this because, yes, I did see the next tweet.
In Sunday's win over Dallas.
Are you talking? Okay, go on.
It played through it in belief that he will be sidelined for an indefinite amount of time. Then the quote tweet, James miraculously played through the injury that is now expected to require multiple opinion sources.
Hero.
And the Lakers are bracing for his absence to be multiple weeks. So we went from he's back. This is the most important 23-game stretch. He had to be out there. There was no way he was coming out of that game against Dallas. He had to be out there to lead his team. A miracle that he played through that.
Water in the wine, curing the blind, playing
King
a basketball game with a pretty much broken foot.
Foot just broken off. It's not like LaMelo Ball who fractured his ankle. LeBron said he heard it pop. I heard it pop is what he said during the game. And then now Shams. You're talking about the same uniform in which a guy tore his Achilles, limped out there, knocked down 2 free throws and left. Like, miraculously ain't going to work here, Mr. Shams. That ain't going to happen. I know that everybody wants to be on LeBron's good side, but geez, miraculously, it was a miracle that he finished the game. It was a miracle he even showed up. Be honest with you. That's the miracle. Guy actually played in the game. Didn't skip it. Didn't have load management. That
I think LeBron just listens to the one song on repeat. All I need is a miracle. All I need is you. And he's just looking in a mirror, singing back to himself.
Wouldn't put it past him.
While pretending to read The Godfather for the 80th time.
Yeah, on page 1 on the bike. He's 1 page in.
Did you see, do you know who Nate Jones is, NBA writer? Nate Jones. I think it's like Jones on NBA, something like that. He tweeted yesterday that the media needs to stop with the load management storylines against the players because it's not the players.
Oh, he's trying to put the onus on the organization?
Yes.
Yeah. I've seen that before. It's not the players. So go play. If you think Kawhi Leonard, I think, refutes that claim, it's not the organization. The Spurs wanted nothing more than for him to play, and he just refused to play for him. And now he plays 1 out of every, 5 games in L.A. for the Clippers? Ballmer's just writing checks. I would be furious as an owner. Furious. If I'm paying that much money, I'd be docking paychecks. Like, no, we're a performance-based business here. Here's your contract. This is for 82 games a season. You know, I think that what they're trying to do with some of the awards they're looking at is have there be qualifiers like we would for Major League Baseball, where you would have, qualified hitters. You have so many plate appearances in order to qualify for some of the hitting stuff. I think they should do the same thing for all of the postseason awards, MVP included. If you only play in 60 games, I can't help you there. You know, give me the guy who played, 72, 75 or more. Maybe you build in a little bit there for injury, but if not, go play. It's as soft as, that's the one thing that everyone continues to call you soft. I'll tell you who I'm going to miss. Jimmy Butler. I am going to miss, when Jimmy Butler is gone, that is the closest thing we have to a throwback, 90s, early 2000s style of player. Has the mid-range, has the attitude, sells coffee. Everything about Jimmy Butler, outside of his fake braids that he
just
had.
hates everyone.
Yeah, just not a fan of anybody.
Not
just
even his own teammates. Charges his teammates more for coffee than other people in the league.
Might have to slap them too. I love Jimmy Butler, and great game from him last night against the 76ers. That was fun to watch. I just I'm going to miss him when he's gone. A real throwback. But I was trying to get talking about the Tigers on the segment, but I had to make sure that everyone knew about the Shams tweet about the miraculous effort by LeBron James to play through the quarter and change of that Dallas game with his injured foot. The Tigers played baseball yesterday in spring training. They lost to the New York Yankees 8-5. This is everybody's getting some run. Everybody's getting some run. Akil Baddoo was 2 runs scored and 2 at bats. Like, that was good. He was 1 for 2 from the plate. Carpenter was 1 for 2. Javi Baez was 1 for 3. Eric Haas was 1 for 3. Austin Meadows was 2 for 3. Torque, big 0 for 3. His slash line zeros across the board. Scope, he's also 0 for 3. He's looking for a hit at some point. And it is a group effort for the pitchers that everybody's going to get an inning or 2 of work. Some guys will just come in for a couple of outs, make sure their stuff is okay. Yeah, that's what we're looking for. And the big story right now in spring training is the clock, and people love it. I mean, Max Scherzer with some rave reviews about the pitch clock here, and Alex Cora with some rave reviews about the pitch clock.
It's so good. I don't know if you did you watch any spring training?
There was one game on that I did see, and now I don't even remember who was playing.
I mean, it's great because at least when we were kids, we would always, like, when we were trying to waste time or not waste time, but throw the opponent off their game, we would at least be standing. You would have your foot on the rubber, and you would kind of just like take your foot off the rubber, look back. That's how it is now. It's like they're catching the ball. They're already on the rubber so that they can decide what they're going to do. They're not walking around rubbing the baseball. It's like, oh, I have the ball.
Glove under the arm.
Yeah, my foot's already on the rubber as I'm catching the ball because I need these 15 seconds to figure out what I'm going to do.
Yeah, when Alex Cora said that, when he, and I know that we've only been through a handful of games, but through the first 3 games, times went from 3 hours and 15 minutes roughly to like 2.5 hours through the first 3 games of spring training. That's not 3 total games. That's through the first scheduled 3 days. That's pretty impressive. I mean, you're talking about cutting the game off in a half an hour to 45 minutes. I mean, that's what we needed. Stay in the box, quit adjusting your gloves and grabbing yourself, scratch that itch and move your cup around, like stop doing what Dan's talking about, glove under the armpit, got to work the ball a little bit, got to work it a little bit. I wear a cup in hockey. It's really, I don't know what all the adjustments are about. We got to find something that fits. Go to your equipment manager, get it figured out. I think it's a beautiful thing. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. We want to get in and out. We're not trying to be here all day. I was talking to a guy at the grocery store who's a baseball, traditionalist is what I'd say. And he was like, what do you think about the pitch clock? And I was like, well, it's nothing new for me. I mean, I worked at AAA baseball when they instituted this thing. Like, this was, this is fine. It's great. And he's like, well, I just don't think that I need it. And I was like, look, I mean, here's the thing. If you are a baseball person, just like you are a vegan, right? You're not going to switch your mind. Where you're at in life, I'm not going to be able to convince you to eat a hamburger. So there's no point. Like, if you're not for it, you just tell me I'm a baseball traditionalist. I don't like it. And that's totally fine. But if it shortens the amount of time we spend watching the game, right? If it makes the game more watchable because the game is faster paced and there's less dead time, then that is a win for Major League Baseball, and a big one at that. We'll step aside when we return. That was just game one of awful Detroit sports yesterday. We'll talk about the other 2. Plus, James and Burton has a football question. We'll get into that next here. X's and Bros, Michigan Sports Network.
Get more for your money this week at Meijer. Right now, when you buy 6 select items, you'll save $3, including Prego pasta sauce, Dannon Light and Fit, or Oikos Greek yogurt, and Meijer food storage bags. Plus, Coca-Cola or Pepsi products are buy 6, save $3, plus deposit where applicable. And pay the same low Meijer prices no matter how you shop, in-store or online. Get more for your money at Meijer. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in the Meijer app.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Huge here for the Michigan High School Athletic Association. You can stay up to date on the latest from Lansing 24/7 at MHSAA.com, at MHSAA on Twitter, and MHSAA on Facebook. The latest news, press releases, and stories connected to every high school in the state of Michigan, available for you 24/7 from the Michigan High School Athletic Association. Log on to MHSAA.com, at MHSAA on Twitter, and MHSAA on Facebook. And if you're looking for archive boys and girls high school sports, MHSAA.TV. That's MHSAA.TV. 24/7, everything you need to know about high school sports in Michigan. Log on to MHSAA.com.
I got to talk. I got to tell what I feel. I got to talk about my life as I see it. Biggie.
From Traverse City to the Glass City, GR to the Motor City, you're listening to X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back here to X's and Bros, Michigan Sports Network. Great to have you riding along with us. Before we hop into our day of Detroit sports yesterday, let's get to James in Burton, who has a football question for us. James, you still there? Good morning to you, my friend.
Hello, Anthony.
What's happening, partner? How are you?
It's always good to talk to you and Ryan and Daniel. Listen, I heard you talking about the football combines the last couple of days. I just wonder, what do you think about the Lions making the pitch at Bobby Wagner? I know we're getting pretty decent linebacker play, but, this guy's a beast.
Yeah, and he signed for, 5 years and I don't know how many millions, and that lasted all of 1 year before they shredded that deal, and they said, no thanks. We are going to tear it down and start over. If it was possible and it wasn't too costly, because right now the Lions are one of the leaders in the clubhouse for Jalen Ramsey, and that's a guy that there's members of this organization that do have some experience with, which I think is a plus. I mean, if you look at adding Jalen Ramsey and Bobby Wagner, I mean, that would be probably very expensive, but at the same time, you kind of know what you are getting there. Bobby Wagner is an immediate upgrade at the linebacker position. The question is how much are you willing to spend on that type of position, considering he had a deal that was in the neighborhood of like $18 to $20 million a year over 5 years. That is a hefty paycheck.
Well, I heard they showed up some cap space or whatever. They'd waived Brocker, defensive end, and I don't know if they've re-signed an Asloan yet. So I mean, but of course, if they don't re-sign an Asloan and he's gone, they gotta get another linebacker.
Yeah, Anzalone's been pretty good for this team. Struggled in year one, took a big step there in year two. The other guy that we need to watch to see what they're going to do with is Halapulavati Vaitai. He just can't stay healthy. Missed the entire season. It's unfortunate, but that's a lot of money paid to a guy that can't stay healthy for an offensive line that on paper has still yet to start a game with all five together. So I would imagine that Big V will be another salary cap casualty along with Michael Brockers, kind of an unsung hero. Michael Brockers, a veteran, in the locker room, who, obviously had a good impact on some of our young defensive linemen. So that's a huge positive. So thank you to Michael Brockers. But yeah, I think if they have the opportunity and the space to be able to legitimately take a look at adding Bobby Wagner, I think that they do that.
Sounds good to me.
Just to look at it. I don't know if it's going to happen, but if they can just look at it, that'd be great.
I know. And then I can make one quick baseball statement. I really like this Carpenter. I think the kid, well, I guess he's about 26 now, but I think he can hit 30 home runs in a full season up here in the majors. I mean, he had 6, like, in a small sample size last year, and
30.
Still there?
I like it. I think 30 is a bold claim, but I like that. Let's put that on the board. James and Burton says 30 dingers for Carpenter. I like that. Why not? Round of applause. Let's get a little hype going, huh? Let's get a little excitement for the club. Who knows? They might lose 100 games.
You always get me fired up, dude.
Good. I'm glad. That's what we need. A little juice around here, I love that.
All right. Hello to all the X's and Bros callers. You guys take care.
Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you. I don't know if the team will take a run at Bobby Wagner. Not sure. It all depends on what that price tag is. And for people commenting like Micah Parsons, like who would want to go to Detroit? Yeah, I'm sure. Sure there are some other places that have some better tax incentives and better infrastructure, and better weather, sure. All of those things might play a role. But, you know what? The state of Michigan isn't really that bad. And, you know what? If you are a professional football player and you have some success here, you will be, in the eyes of the people, you will be, put on that pedestal. That's for sure. I mean, Sean Payton won a Super Bowl with the Rams.
As long as you play heroically through foot injuries.
Miraculously,
heroically.
All of that.
Yeah.
What do they do with Jamal
Williams? We need a hero.
Williams?
I need a hero.
I hope you cut that and we could use that as a drop. But what do you do with Jamal? Like, what are they going to go? Like, when it comes down to, like, how much are they willing to pay that position? I did see that, there is a belief that it will be the end of the era at the end of this year for DeAndre Swift. So they're going to use him a whole bunch and see what happens from that point, going forward. And I highly doubt that they will try to re-sign him.
Use him a whole bunch until he gets hurt in week 3, and then we'll see him week 12 for a few snaps.
So he gets worked back in slowly.
Yeah, I mean, I do feel for him because last year was that's what did he play the whole season with, like a separated shoulder or something crazy? Like I don't know. You have your unrestricted free agents that get signed with any team during free agency beginning on March 15th. Your restricted free agents, that can happen, as of right now. For them to try to get some deals and some things done. So, look, the Lions have a lot of salary cap space, and they've got the third most draft capital. So it is it'll be interesting to see what they try to do, where they move, if they move at all. Looks like Chicago is willing to part with that number 1 pick. I don't know if you try to make a move up and go there, or if you try to go down a little bit, try to back out a little bit. But hey, I mean, I'm Bobby Wagner's an upgrade, just as is Jalen Ramsey. I mean, they're uber talented guys. That what do you do when if you add one of those guys? Not if you add them both, but if you were to add one, it immediately upgrades the position, gives you that star power that people like Freddie so desperately desire. That hey, here's a big name that everybody knows. This is going to make a difference on this team. We'll see. Yesterday in Detroit sports, absolutely just what a day. What a day. So Tigers start things off on a bad note, spring training, losing 8-5 to the Yankees, but nobody's going to lose any sleep over that. Carpenter, by the way, was 1 for 2, run scored, 2 RBI, did strike out 1 time. Not a big deal. Hitting .250 right now in spring training. That's always fun. Eric Haas had a dinger. Carpenter had a dinger. Everybody's having fun. Then the Pistons tipped the ball off against the Charlotte Hornets. LaMelo Ball, bad news bears for him. Poor guy, but it's not looking good for his ankle. Like, it wasn't, if it was miraculous for LeBron, LaMelo Ball suffered a fractured right ankle. So for whatever Charlotte was supposed to be this year, and then the Miles Bridges news came down, talk about sucking the wind out of your sails, and now this, like, they are in big trouble. Big trouble, that organization is. This is one of those teams that the Pistons might have to fend off here at the end. But the Pistons look completely overmatched against this team. Killian Hayes.
They didn't.
You don't think so? I mean, they were down 20 in the first quarter?
Anthony, I think if Alec Burks didn't just hoist up 8 threes, they were within a bucket. I mean, between Alec Burks, somebody else went 1 for 4. Isaiah Livers went
Magruder.
0 for 3. Yeah, Magruder. Between those two guys, they were 2 for 17 or something from 3. That's how you lose.
Collectively as a team, we were 3 for 26 from 3. We got no shooting. Good news for Hamidou. He had a really nice game. 33 minutes and 23 points for him. Killian Hayes, 10 assists to 1 turnover is good. That's positive. 4 steals is good. 4 rebounds is good. Couple blocks is good. Struggled to shoot the ball because he's not a shooter. Guy can't shoot, but everything else he did was nice. James Wiseman.
Did you see how our big guys, they were catching the ball near the basket and moving their feet and dunking it and laying it in. It was awesome.
Yeah, we'd never seen that before.
Because Isaiah Stewart was on the bench.
Isaiah Stewart with a sore right hip, Jalen Duren with a sore ankle, and Jaden Ivey was out for personal reasons. So you have Marvin Bagley III, James Wiseman being your two bigs now at this point, and both of them played well. Bagley with 21 and 12 on 10 of 16, and Wiseman 23 and 7 on 9 of 11. Alec Burks, like you mentioned, really struggled shooting the basketball, 1 of 8 from 3. Rodney Magruder started the game. Why? I have no idea. Isaiah Livers, I just don't know. I really just don't know. I want it to work out, but I mean, they came out so bad in the first quarter, they buried themselves. And we've seen this before that, you expect to make that run at some point, especially when the other team loses their starting guard there in the second half. You expect to make a run at some point, but dude, you go down 20 in the first half. Wake up! Why did you travel to Charlotte? What is in Charlotte? We didn't send you to New Orleans to play the Pelicans the day after Mardi Gras. Like, come on, what are we doing? Good to see Gordon Hayward out there running around for the Hornets. That's fun. And scary Terry Rozier thought he should have probably stayed with Boston. But look, nonetheless, Dan raised a really good point. Big guys that can play big, and you have a combined 19 of 27 from the field between Bagley and Wiseman. They combined for 44 points. They combined for 19 rebounds. Like, that's, I don't know, man. I like I said, I think that maybe, as I was talking to one of my friends who's a Cavs fan, and they were laughing about how many bigs and projects you're going to take on. I said, well, RJ Hampton doesn't really matter. Like, if he comes in, he plays well, great. If he doesn't play well, he's not on the team next year. Like, what at this point, it's a 15-win club. What's the difference? And he's like, yeah, I suppose. I said, you know what it is, though? You can't replicate what Golden State has, but you might be able to replicate what Cleveland has. You might be able to do that.
Hey, Marvin was looking very athletic.
He's very.
He had a pump fake on the block to a dunk that the guy was in the crowd as he was dunking it. That's how faked out this dude was. He was on his game. Wiseman, he's got some ball skills and some post moves down there. And that little baby hook, if he can get that to drop, he's going to be fun. They have athletic big guys for the first time in years. I mean, I would consider like Sheed was an athletic big guy. Like
McDyess was athletic.
That's about it. That's the last two guys.
Big Ben was athletic. He just wasn't very good offensively.
Right.
But it's been 20 years since we've had, and I don't think we've ever had this kind of athleticism. When you throw in Duren, you got guys that can run to the rim. You could literally throw it up at the top of the square and let's see what happens. Can he catch it? I think Marvin Bagley is going to be great when he grows his. I thought they should have done this with the Sadiq Bey, but if Marvin Bagley grows the chops out, get a little like in front of the Motown Museum, I think that'd be great. Get him like an '87 Monte Carlo.
That's funny because I was just gonna complain about how Isaiah Livers needs to just stay in the gym and shoot some more instead of getting his hair done every game. Comes up with a new hairstyle every single game.
I mean, look, if your hair had the versatility, I'm sure I watched Allen Iverson get his braids tightened on the bench one time by his mother. So, like, look, I mean, I get it. I'm with it, but got to be better. I just I want him to work. I just don't know if he does. I do. I want him to work. I just don't. I really just don't know. There's times when you're watching guys at the college level and you're like, that guy is a professional player. Then other times they're like, the people tell you like, oh, he's going to the pros. Like, Jim, you sure about that? And it's like, I don't know where Isaiah Livers is. I know that he's not a starter at the NBA level. Can he contribute a little bit? Sure, but he's got to, like, if he's coming in, he's got to knock down shots, and you're not going to, you can't go 3 of 26 from the floor. And then you had the Red Wings, who Pistons got done. I mean, I flipped it, and I'm like, let's check out the Red Wings, and they were just getting their heads beat in. After a 1-0 lead at the end of the first, feeling pretty good. You watched Mr. Kachuk just literally single-handedly beat this team to a bloody pulp, and this is my knock against the Red Wings. who's the guy? Who's the guy? Who's the guy? Because when one guy is just throwing your guys around like rag dolls and is talking to your bench, and no one's going to do anything. No one is going to do anything about it. Nobody. You don't have one guy on that roster that's scary. Not a one. You don't have one Probert. You don't have one McCarty. You don't have a single dude on that team that you're like, oh, God, watch out for that guy.
It does. So are because the Senators are somewhere right now?
Because the Senators are
The
somewhere?
Senators have been terrible for years also. They've had Brady Tkachuk for years. A lot of teams don't have that guy anymore.
At some point you got to stand up and somebody's got to take a lick in there. It doesn't even matter if you win or lose the fight. Like you got at least somebody's got to have the balls to challenge somebody. You have to. Do you think that the Red Wings would be better? Well, the Red Wings have better skill players, except for it was last night. Then take that away from me right now. Ottawa leads the season series right now 2-1.
Well, last night was Hellberg played very well in the first period. The live I was watching on the app on my phone, the live odds from FanDuel popped up as an ad, -200 for the Red Wings. Within 8 seconds, goal. Another 30 seconds, goal. There's the live odds, just
plus 9,000 after that. You were watching on the Bally Sports app?
I was, yes.
One of the things that I really like if you watch on the Bally Sports app is now you can have all the complaints you want, but the interactiveness of that app is pretty wild.
I completely agree. It's super cool, like the stats and tells you even who's on the ice and stuff. It's crazy. What I don't like is, at least on my television, I'm paying $20 a month. I should be able to watch both games at the same time.
Wait a minute. Why can't you?
There's no split screen.
Say they used to have that back in the day on the Fox Sports app,
right,
where you could go quad box on what's on the Fox Sports channels.
Yeah. Do you have Bally Sports on your television? And then just pull the game up on the app?
Yeah, but that's not cool. Like I'm paying $20. I pay $64.99 for cable. I'm paying $20 a month to pay for the station that I work at. I should be able to watch both broadcasts.
Huh. Why couldn't you?
They're not. I mean, I can, one on my phone, one on the TV, or one on my laptop, one on my iPad, but it should be able to be split screen.
I feel you. Well, look, you gave us your bills there. Don't forget, Dan, that's a write-off. Who do you write it off to? The write-off people. But those are write-offs. Make sure you have all that for your taxes. Any and all subscriptions you have that are sports related due to your job, that's going to be a write-off. I hope you do that.
Yeah, but it doesn't do crap for you.
Oh, wow. Well, with that attitude. All right, we're going to step aside. We'll come back. Hour number 2, more Pistons, more Red Wings, more just, ugh. We'll talk about it. Coming up here on X's and Bros, Michigan Sports Network.
From planting a simple seed to managing a global food supply, growing, processing, and distributing food is the backbone of America. You deal with food safety and labor issues, cost control, and not to mention Mother Nature. But do you have time to explore research development and biotechnical tax credits? Properly administer payroll for temporary employees. Ensure that you're operating at your most profitable? That's where we come in. We're Bean Garter. And while your business is America's food supply, our business is helping you run your business better. We'll assist with tax credits, assess your processes and controls, and so much more. And while we may not be able to help you plant your crops, we can help you realize a rich financial harvest. From the family farm to worldwide distribution of all the things you grow, grow your business better. Experience, service, expertise, and simplicity at Bean Garter. Find us online, beangarter.com. Bean Garter.
The new M-Perks is here. Reward yourself with dollars off your purchases, fuel rewards, and more at Meijer. Earn 10 points on nearly every dollar you spend when you shop in-store or on Meijer.com. Then use your points to claim and redeem rewards any way you want. Plus, earn points for every qualifying prescription filled at your Meijer pharmacy. Download the Meijer app to sign up, or if you're already using M-Perks, start earning points and saving today. Save more with M-Perks. Exclusions apply. See Meijer.com to learn more.
We might have just come out with our most refreshing Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer yet. It's called the Essential Collection. It's made with coconut water and real fruit juice, so it's always going to have a real refreshing fruit taste. Can refreshing get any more refreshing? Yep, it can, and it just did. Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, made with coconut water and real fruit juice for a superior taste. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, IRC Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Huge here for all the Mr. Car Wash locations. I think there's close to 30 across the Huge Radio Network. For the one close to you, go to MrCarWash.com, and there you can join their Unlimited Wash Club. Now, this is a quick and convenient way to keep your car shining all the time. It's everything you love about getting your car washed in a simple, easy-to-use, affordable plan. As an Unlimited Wash Club member, you will enjoy all the benefits of washing as often as you like, no long-term contract, convenient monthly billing, and now you can be rest assured with a contactless visit. So go to MrCarWash.com right now, sign up for their Unlimited Wash Club Pass, and that means you can get your car washed at any Mr. Car Wash location across the Huge Radio Network or anywhere in America. And for the location close to you across the Huge Radio Network, you can also log on to MrCarWash.com.
Good morning, everyone.
It's time for Michigan Sports Talk Morning Show, broadcasting live all across the state of Michigan and Northwest Ohio. This is X's and Bros.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's a good morning. Wake up to a brand new day.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, Vietnam!
Here's your host, Anthony Bellino.
Rise and shine, folks. Welcome back. Hour number 2, X's and Bros, coming to you live right now here all across the great state of Michigan and in Northwest Ohio as well. From Traverse City down to the Glass City, GR to the Motor City. We say good morning to you. We welcome you. We thank you. We appreciate you. And, of course, we encourage you to join the program at any time. Text the keyword sports radio. Send that to 21,000 sports radio to 21000. Meyer Supercenter guest line 248-951-2176, 248-951-2176. We're on Twitter at XB Mornings, Facebook, X's and Bros. And, of course, good morning to our television audience as well on BCSN. That is streaming live on Buckeye Cable Sports Network, as well as on our YouTube page, Michigan Sports and Network. That's where you can find us. Add a .com to that to find our website. xbmornings@gmail.com is our fan feedback email inbox. Danny Cahalan is at Dan in the studio. Ryan Elke is at RyanL_Key. And I'm Anthony Bellino at AC Bellino. What's going on in the world of sports? We'll try to get you all caught up all across the world of sports right now in the headlines.
Big news.
I have a little news flash.
Let's check the headlines.
No, it's real news for once.
The biggest stories of the local, regional, and national news.
This is huge news.
Huge news. The Detroit Pistons fell on the road last night to the Charlotte Hornets, 117-106, giving up 20 points. 20-point deficit, I should say, 41-21 at the end of the first quarter. Could never rally and rebound from that. That makes them 15-47 on the year. That is not great for any of our play-in game hopes that disappeared right when Cade Cunningham went down. But the good news is, if you're looking for a little silver lining, that record is right now the third worst record in the NBA. The Houston Rockets are 13-47. San Antonio Spurs are 14-47, and the Pistons are 15-47. So the integrity of percentages is still very much alive when it comes to the first overall pick, which will more than likely be Victor Wembanyama. The Ottawa Senators beat the Detroit Red Wings 6-2 last night. Just beat the hell out of them in the second and third periods. Not good at all there for the Wings. That was a game that, now it's shaking the confidence a little bit. I'm sure GB was just turning last night watching that one. The Yankees beat the Tigers 8-5, and the Tigers are now 1-2 in their spring training games. The Washington Commanders have released their quarterback Carson Wentz after just 1 year. The move saves Washington $26 million and change on their salary cap this offseason. 2 years remaining on his contract, no guaranteed money, however. So he is gone, and more space for the Commanders. The NFL is going to recommend expanded use of the Guardian caps. According to the league, the executive vice president, Jeff Miller, concussions were down 52% for offensive and defensive linemen, tight ends, and linebackers who wore the Guardian caps during off-season work and early part of training camp. The hope is to expand the use of the Guardian caps to skilled players and have players wear them longer than just for practices through the first couple of preseason games. The Guardian caps. The big giant rubber things they put on top of their helmets and clip in. You know what I mean? They look like turtle shells, to be honest with you. It'll be interesting to see. The Milwaukee Bucks co-owner Mark Lasry has reached an agreement to sell a portion of the team to the Cleveland Browns owner Jimmy Haslam and Dee Haslam at $3.5 billion. That's the valuation. $3.5 billion. If completed, it would be the second highest valuation ever for an NBA franchise, being surpassed only by the $4 billion purchase of the Phoenix Suns by our guy Matt Ishbia. So how about that? Stephen Jones believes that Dak Prescott can lead the Cowboys to a Super Bowl. I've got all the faith in the world we can win this thing with Dak, according to Mr. Jones at the Combine. Interesting to see. What are they going to do with this contract? A lot of money. Prescott is set to count for $49.2 million against the upcoming salary cap. He signed through 2024. If the Cowboys restructure the contract, they can create up to $22 million in cap space. With an extension, they could create even more room. So you have Micah Parsons, you have Trayvon Diggs, you have DeMarcus Lawrence, you have Tony Pollard. What do you do with, Tyron Smith, tight end Dalton Schultz? You got a lot of big names on that team. I don't know. You got to do something with Dak Prescott. You got to do something with Ezekiel Elliott because that's just way, way, way too much money. Top NFL draft prospect Jalen Carter will not be working out at the Combine. He's there to go through his interviews and his physical, but will not work out. The Bears are leaning towards moving the number 1 pick in the NFL draft, according to reports. This could be a complete smokescreen, or they could try to house another franchise and go with a great train robbery like Jimmy Johnson did. I'm not sure what exactly, the rumors are that maybe they would trade number 1. Maybe they would trade Justin Fields. I just, I don't know if Bryce Young, size is, I don't know. Size matters, and there are very few little guys that can do it. Bryce Young is a tiny human, and maybe as the league continues to evolve, we don't need to necessarily see 6'3" to 6'5" at quarterback. But it sure would help to have somebody a little bigger. And Bryce Young will go top 5. I'm almost sure of it. But will they? Will Will Levis sneak his way up there because somebody believes he's going to be the next Josh Allen? LeBron James, although according to Shams Charania, although he miraculously played through his foot injury, he's feared out several weeks now with that foot injury. Just got themselves into play-in contention. And now all of a sudden, LeBron James, the 38-year-old, walking with a limp, not good at all, going to get multiple opinions, but they fear that he might be done for extended period of time. Speaking of done for extended period of time, LaMelo Ball suffered a fracture in his right ankle during their win last night against the Pistons. The team announced after the game. It was early in the third quarter. It did not look good. He was just dribbling the basketball. He landed awkwardly, and then boom, that was it. You could tell that he was in some serious pain. Jason Tatum picked up his first career ejection as the Celtics lost 109-94 to the New York Knicks. Sold out Madison Square Garden. 3 minutes, 46 seconds in the remaining in the fourth quarter is all it took. And Tatum, thrown out. First time ever. Good for you, I suppose. Hey, Connor McDavid netted his 50th goal. The Oilers lost to the best team in the league, the Boston Bruins. Congratulations to Connor McDavid scoring twice to reach the 50-goal mark for the first time in his career. Not bad. Pretty exciting stuff for Mr. McDavid, if you are in on that. We had some college hoops action.
We'll get
last
one of
night.
those soon. One
Where?
day.
50 goal score, you think? Maybe
one of
day?
these years.
Oh, man. When do you think it happened?
Can we?
I don't know.
If I'm really good this year, can we get a 50-goal scorer? I do all my chores, eat all my dinner.
Clean plate club?
Yeah.
I don't know if we're going to get a 50-goal score. I don't know. Man,
Work harder then, all right? Jeez.
I wish it would happen. Tigers spring training today against the Blue Jays, 1:07 first pitch. Will that game be on radio? Do we know?
I do not know. Let me see here on the
because we don't start on the television until March 5th. If I'm
correct.
Mistaken.
I don't see anything on about radio.
Okay. So the game, unless you have, I don't even know what exactly you would need to have in order to get that game. And we did start conference basketball tournaments this week. How about that? Can you believe it's already that time? We got a couple more games to finish up in the Mid-American Conference, couple more games to finish up in the Big Ten, and then we are going to start rocking and rolling in the conference tourneys, which will be.
I saw some fun bracketology numbers today.
Ooh, what'd you see?
You want to save it? Well, yeah, we'll save it because it's about the bubble teams and just the difference of, it's not all bad for Michigan when looking at some of the other bubble teams, but it's all not good either.
The A-Sun kicked off their conference tournaments. They had Bellarmine winning 76-74 over North Florida, and Queens University 61-55 winners over Florida Gulf Coast in the conference tournaments there. We'll step aside. We'll be back with more X's and Bros after this here on the Michigan Sports Network.
The new M-Perks is here. Reward yourself with dollars off your purchases, fuel rewards, and more at Meijer. Earn 10 points on nearly every dollar you spend when you shop in-store or on Meijer.com. Then use your points to claim and redeem rewards any way you want. Plus, earn points for every qualifying prescription filled at your Meijer pharmacy. Download the Meijer app to sign up, or if you're already using M-Perks, start earning points and saving today. Save more with M-Perks. Exclusions apply. See Meijer.com to learn more.
Imagine this, winning big at Soaring Eagle. Get a taste of sweet rewards, up to $5,000 cash. Every Friday in February from 7 to 11 p.m. Play for a chance to take home the chocolate bar with prizes from $1,000 premium play all the way up to $5,000 cash. Don't miss sweet rewards. Only at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Your getaway. Reimagine. Visit SoaringEagleCasino.com for complete rules and details.
Huge here for my good friend Tom Rosenbach. Now, he's a managing partner at Bean Garter. They are one of America's top accounting and business firms, and they're stronger than ever before with their new partnership with Doran Mayhew from the east side of Michigan. If you're a small business, big business, and you're looking for the professionals who can help your business on any tax or business need you have, go to BeanGarter.com. That is BeanGarter.com. And we're close to March Madness, so be looking for our huge bracket challenge where you could win big cash, courtesy of Tom Rosenbach and his team from Bean Garter. We'll have more details in the coming weeks. But if you're a business decision maker or owner and you're looking for professionals to help your business, contact Tom Rosenbach and his team at Bean Garter. BeanGarter.com.
You're listening to X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network. Can't call in? Text us using the keyword sports radio and send it to 21000 or tweet us at XB Mornings. Now back to Danny Cahalan, Ryan Elke, and Anthony Bellino.
Welcome back here to X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network. Great to have you riding along with us, no matter who you are, where you are, how you may be listening. It's always a pleasure. Danny Cahalan playing all your favorite hits right now. Love that song. Great choice. I forget the name of the original. I know that Wiz Khalifa had sampled that track. But it is hour two. It is segment two, which means it's time for Detroit Lions trivia. This is tough. Matt Prater in the year 2020 had 10 attempts from 50 yards or more. How many makes did he have out of those 10 from 50 yards out?
10.
10 for 10 is incorrect.
7.
Ooh, 7. So close. Correct answer is 6.
Bing, bing, bong.
He was 6 of 10 from 50 yards or more, and he was 21 of 28 on field goals for the Lions.
Guess he wasn't that great. We just have, 21 of 28. 4 of your misses are from 50 or more, I guess.
All right. If you want more trivia, I have a trivia question for you.
Ooh.
I saw it pop up on Twitter.
Oh.
Of the first ever AP poll in basketball, which was January 17th, 1949. There were 20 teams. Can you name can you name 5 to 10 of the teams in the original AP poll for college men's basketball?
Oh, my God. Yale.
Wrong.
Virginia.
Wrong.
UCLA.
No.
This is a good one.
Really good one.
Syracuse.
No. There are notable teams in here, so there are some ones where...
Northwestern.
No.
Ooh.
There is a Big Ten team in here, though.
Probably Michigan.
It is not.
Damn.
There's actually 2 Big Ten teams in here.
Illinois.
Correct. Number 7.
I was gonna say Rutgers.
No.
Yeah, see, I'm just going off the beaten path with some of my guesses. Like, let's try to find somebody out there who's...
Maryland.
Nope.
Interesting.
Duke.
No.
Florida State.
Nope. All right. Number 1 in the first ever AP poll, St. Louis. Number 2, Kentucky.
Oh.
Number 3, Western Kentucky.
Hilltoppers.
Number 4, Minnesota.
Golden
Your other
Gophers.
Big Ten team.
That's the last time they were good.
Yeah. Number 5, now Oklahoma State, Oklahoma A&M. Number 6, San Francisco.
Oh, the Frannies.
Number 7, Illinois. Number 8, Hamline.
Who?
Yep.
Hamline?
Yep.
Sounds like a deli.
Number 9, Nova. Number 10, Utah. 11, Tulane. 12, Loyola, Chicago. 13, Cincinnati. 14, the Holy Cross. Number 15, Anthony. Turn in your degree, Bowling Green.
Hey, Nate Thurman. Nasty Nate. I don't even know if he was on that team in 1949, you said?
Yeah. 16, Bradley. 17, Stanford. 18, Washington State, which I believe Judd Heathcote was on that team. Number 19, Butler. Number 20, NYU.
Let me see when Nathaniel played. Nate Thurman, one of the top 50 players in NBA history. inducted into the BGSU Hall of Fame in 1975. Where's the years he played at? Class of 1963. So he would have just been a pup at that point. That's pretty impressive. Nate Thurman. All right, BG, go roll along Falcons. By the way, what did you have as far as the that bracketology that you were looking up?
Okay, so I'm looking at Jerry Palm's bracketology.
What's old Jerry Palm?
Because he updates it every day, where Lenardi has not done the everyday updating yet. And so there's just some stats on the bubble teams that they have. I'll list out the bubble teams: Auburn, Memphis, Arizona State, Boise State, Clemson, Michigan, Mississippi State, and North Carolina. Now he has a bunch of like the net rankings, RPIs, the quad records. Then he has strength of schedule and then non-conference strength of schedule, which I found very eye-opening. Like, for example, North Carolina's last on the list. Their strength of schedule is 17. Their non-conference strength of schedule is 18.
Who's that?
North Carolina.
Okay.
Michigan, strength of schedule 25. Non-conference strength of schedule 136. But wait, there's more. Clemson, they're 21-8, 13-5 in the ACC. Their strength of schedule is 143. Their non-conference strength of schedule is 342.
Oh my God. That is atrocious.
Like Mississippi State, strength of schedule 46. Non-conference 238.
Jeez Louise. It's the quad fours, man. That loss to...
And Clemson has 2 quad 4 losses. They're 8-2 in quad 4 games.
Wow. 21-8 overall. It's like you look at that 21-8 and it's like, okay, we got ACC competition. That's great, but goodness gracious. That is really something. My goodness. And for Michigan, one of the last 4 in is Arizona State. Oh, can you imagine that? Arizona State and Frankie Collins get in over Michigan. Oh my goodness. That's not that would be less than ideal. I can't click the link. I'm not a subscriber. Dan.
Oh, I'm not a subscriber either. I was hoping you were a subscriber.
Is Ryan a subscriber?
I don't think so.
All right. Well,
it says Detroit Lions are getting alternate helmets. That's all I've got.
No picture?
In the breaking news department.
No picture?
Not that I saw.
What are they going to do with their new helmet? Now that we can get rid of that whole, like, oh, they got to break the helmets in. And your college team's got 15 helmets for 12 games. All of a sudden, the pros can't? Like, come on. Absolutely they can. I've seen a lot of really cool concepts out there. Really cool concepts. What are we going to do with our jersey? I'm a big fan of the blue, that bright Honolulu blue with the white, the pant with the white top, white jersey. Love that. The all whites are great. The all Honolulu blue, the blueberry ones. I like those. Are we going to go back to more of a retro look? I know there's a lot of fans that want that retro look. I don't know. We didn't win anything in that retro look, so maybe we try to do something different. A lot of fans don't want the black. Some do want the black in there. From the early Joey Harrington, early 2000s, that type of deal. So we'll see. But yeah, Lions getting an alternate helmet, some new unis. We'll see what they do. They can't be any worse than what the Pistons rolled out with last night, which is by far, without a shadow of a doubt, the worst Detroit sports uniform in the history of Detroit sports. That is the worst uniform out of any of the 4 major sports that any Detroit team has ever worn. And I don't even think it's close. We'll be back with more X's and Bros after this here on the Michigan Sports Network.
Huge here for my good friend Tom Rosenbach. Now, he's a managing partner at Br0's. They are one of America's top accounting and business firms, and they're stronger than ever before with their new partnership with Doran Mayhew from the east side of Michigan. If you're a small business, big business, and you're looking for the professionals who can help your business on any tax or business need you have, go to BeanGarter.com. That is BeanGarter.com. And we're close to March Madness, so be looking for our huge bracket challenge where you could win big cash, courtesy of Tom Rosenbach and his team from Bean Garter. We'll have more details in the coming weeks. But if you're a business decision maker or owner and you're looking for professionals to help your business, contact Tom Rosenbach and his team at Bean Garter. BeanGarter.com.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The new M-Perks is here. Reward yourself with dollars off your purchases, fuel rewards, and more at Meijer. Earn 10 points on nearly every dollar you spend when you shop in-store or on Meijer.com. Then use your points to claim and redeem rewards any way you want. Plus, earn points for every qualifying prescription filled at your Meijer pharmacy. Download the Meijer app to sign up, or if you're already using M-Perks, start earning points and saving today. Save more with M-Perks. Exclusions apply. See Meijer.com to learn more.
This is X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back here to X's and Bros, Michigan Sports Network. Great to have you riding along with us. No matter who you are, where you are, how you may be listening, all across the great state of Michigan and in Northwest Ohio as well. Now you've got me overly interested in this Detroit Lions helmet redesign. We don't know. It's a Lions are going to have an interesting alternate helmet. I don't know what that is going to be. I'm trying to see if somebody has an interesting overhaul for the uniforms in 2024. So we'll be in luck. No new uniforms in 2023. I know people are over their skis on that. It really takes 2 years to really get it going. So my man Brian Ficini, he was once looking for Lions branded Germac peanuts, and I said I got those at Danny's Fine Foods, my man. The team have been working with Nike, looking at uniforms that will possibly be in for 2024. It could be an interesting overhaul of the uniforms. We will have a new ultimate helmet, though, this year. We didn't do that last season. That comes from the president, Rod Wood. So, hey, new times are coming. Don't know what they will look like, but I can tell you this. There have been a couple of really, really cool concepts that have been out there that I'm very, very interested to see whether or not this is going to work and hopefully be something. You're never going to get all fans to agree on everything. And the minute you release something new, there's going to be a certain sect of the population that's going to think that it stinks. You just kind of got to roll with it. Let's get to GB Ritz, who's on hold. I know Mr. GB in the Ritz-Carlton penthouse suite. He might have went down to the basement last night. He might have went to the mailroom last night, maybe down to do laundry and just throw bleach on everything. I know. I was watching. Hey, GB, you're all I thought about last night. Is that weird? I was thinking about you last night watching that game.
I could feel the pressure, Anthony. I could.
He's going to be madder than a wet hen.
Before this goes on any farther, I want to apologize to you, Anthony, for yesterday.
For what?
Because while you were carrying the conversation on about basketball, talking about something that you really are fond of, or you go for, and because it's your position in sports to do that, you have to watch it. I kind of talked through your talking while you were presenting your point. I apologize for that. That was rude of me to do that.
GB, I see your apology, and I raise you an apology, as that was me just trying to get you triggered because I knew that the Pistons were not a priority for you. So I in turn, as you apologize to me, I must see your apology and raise you one to apologize back to you for trying to fire you up, knowing that the round ball circus that's taking place there at Little Caesars Arena on some of the nights is not on the list of things to do.
Well, then we're in agreement, and I thank you for that. I appreciate that.
We have an accord.
We have an accord. Very good. Boy, you've been watching the Pirates of the Caribbean. That's pretty good. I like that.
So I ever since I was a child, I have been, in fact, my mother's going to laugh because she's probably listening right now. I have been obsessed with Pirates since I was a kid. I didn't know it was like Blackbeard and all that. It's great when you're a kid. You don't really understand the magnitude of what the fight for the Caribbean was really all about. The slave trade, the trading of goods, sugar cane and everything else, and what that all meant. The West Indies, to the different empires, whether they were the Spanish or the British, and the pirates fight for independence of the West Indies so that they could sail the high seas. It's pretty involved, and they were some deadly people. They were criminals under the Crown's rule. But I love pirates, and a buddy of mine got some package delivered where it was like a pirate logo, and it looked like it had butcher knives under it. And I'm like, dude, whose property is this logo? Because I want this. I want to get this printed out and stitched into my golf bag.
That would be cool.
That would be cool. Wouldn't that be cool? I mean, I got the Titleist cart bag, so you can literally unzip the big pocket in the front of the bag, and on the side that is on the opposite of the handle. So like the flat side, the front side there, you can actually unzip that all the way. I'm like, I just need to get this unzipped and embroidered.
That would be cool. I can go for that.
But you can't walk out there with a pirate flag and butcher knives and be shooting 86, GB. You gotta, if you're gonna come out there with a Titleist cart bag and that kind of logo embroidered into your bag, you better have some game.
I'll go along with that. After we hang up, think about a pro on the PGA Tour that could put that on his bag successfully without damaging his other sponsors, of course. But if he could put one on his bag, that would be pretty cool. Think about
John
that.
Rahm, the Spanish Fleet.
I was thinking that was the first name as I was saying that came to my mind. So, but we're going down the wrong path here because I just want to say that the Red Wings got just totally brutalized last night. They got beat up. They got whipped from one end of the rink to the other, and I'm disappointed in that they didn't kind of come back and stand up for themselves a little bit. But I'm also disappointed, and I don't want to cry too much foul, but I will on the referees because they called some of the silliest penalties on the Red Wings and called absolutely zero for the first half of the game on the Senators. I mean, all Larkin did was give that guy a face wash while he was trying to break into the net and rubbed his glove across his face and roughing. I mean, God, that's the oldest hockey play on the books, on the record. Here, take a whiff of my smelly glove while I skate to the net kind of thing. And they call him for roughing. I don't get it. While Wallman gets run over twice. He can't even get up. And he gets hit the second time. The guy hit him from about 15. So I don't know what they were watching. So I'm frustrated with that. Officiating is so inconsistent in the National Hockey League.
It is, and we have really been at the when you go back to the was it the Rangers game with the Larkin cross check and the cross check that was delivered to who was it? Anywho.
I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about.
Those two plays, and I think the Wing Wheel Pod and our friend Ryan Hanna did a side-by-side of that. I don't know how we get a bad whistle, and I don't want to be that guy. I sound like an Illinois basketball fan right now, like, oh, my God. But at the same time, it's like, look, we got to find at least a little bit of consistency because those penalties are hurting. And GB, I'm watching that game last night. My buddy Chris he might be as equal of a hockey nut as you are. I mean, this guy is watching German league hockey because, one of a mutual friend plays out there, right? And he said this last night. He said, side note, Brady Tkachuk bullying the bleep out of the Wings. At some point, you have to answer this bell, even if you get your bleep kicked. And I'm like,
agree,
look,
100%.
please stop allowing a guy to skate around and challenge everybody and nobody do anything about it. Like one of my friends who, played minor league hockey at the lower level was just like, look, I mean, what's the difference between Mo Sider and Johan Franzen, for example, like the big bodied guys, obviously Mo is very, very skilled with the puck, very good defender, but very much like a new age kind of guy. Like, I don't know if he has that dog in him that when push comes to shove, he's going to crack somebody with an open, with a closed fist across their jaw just to send a message. I don't know if that's going to happen.
Yeah, that's maybe 2 years from now, maybe has he really learned the league. But yeah, that's asking a lot. I mean, the guy that they had that would have stepped up, but they never played him, and maybe talent-wise he didn't deserve it, but I thought he did okay. Was Giovanni Smith, but they let him go to Florida, and they really don't have anybody. So that's where. I remember watching the video of the 97 Wings after they won the Cup, and they interviewed a few people, and one of them was, one of the coaches, and I can't, Dave, I can't think of his last name. Anyway, the point is, he said we got tougher in a few ways. They brought up Marty LaPointe, and they signed a couple other guys that Joe Kosar, and those two. The team all of a sudden got tougher. Nobody, along with McCarty, would stand, cause any problems with them. And that's what the Wings need to do. They need to find a serviceable skater that can score, give you maybe 12, 13, 14, 15 goals, but can be stand up for your players on the ice. But you can't expect him to do it all the time. These players have to just own up to the fact and say, hey, you're going to push me around. I ain't going to accept it. And
it's the National Hockey League. I mean, this is a grown man's game, and the minute they smell weakness, they're going to exploit it because that's.
Can I say one thing real quick?
Absolutely.
Anthony? And I'll let you go to the next caller. Maybe Freddie's on hold or something. One thing we did find out after last night's game, Jake Wallman is Iron Man, and because he got hit he blocked 6 shots and he got ran over by those 2 checks. I mean, and the guy still came out and took every shift for the rest of the game. I mean, the guy was incredible. And if he's not signed, I'll be disappointed with Mr. Eiserman because he really helps our defense, I think. So, Anthony, have a great day. Both you guys too over there, Dan and Ryan, have a good day. Hope MSU gets their act together for you, Ryan, because I can hear some moaning coming from wherever the sounds are down south of me. So, and I'm sure you're grumbling when you watch those games, Ryan. So, anyway, have a good one.
All right, GB, we appreciate you.
Grumbling, throwing things.
Did he just say he hears some moaning coming from down south? Is that GB Ritz?
Oh.
Does he know this is a family-friendly show? Bing bong. My goodness, GB. It's 7:46 in the morning, partner. Goodness gracious. Wow. I'm a little spicy there. Yeah, the Wings, they lack that guy right now. They just don't. I just don't know if they have him. And you're watching the game and you're seeing the physical toll that can take the physical aspect that can take a toll on a hockey team, and it's just not good. And the problem with that loss is that this Ottawa team. I mean, when we look at because this is standings watch 2023. I mean, this is. I guess like a presidential race. I mean, everybody we're glued into where we're at now. We're sitting firmly there in the wild card race in 4th place. The top 2 making the wild card would be the Islanders and the Penguins, then the Sabres, and then the Red Wings. But the Red Wings, with a couple more points than Ottawa, that was a very important game. Now they're tied with the Panthers and the Washington Capitals. They have games in hand to both of those teams with only playing 59. The Panthers have played 61. The Caps have played 62.
Every loss is basically a game in hand taken away. So that's the way you got to look at it at this point. There's 25 games left. Every point matters.
Even less than that, only 23.
Yeah, it's
that's Ottawa. I mean, if it's a team below you in the standings, these are. I get the Tampa Bay thing, okay, but Ottawa's that's a playoff game. The Islanders are going to be that's a playoff game. That's what we're looking at, because you're going to get the Bruins in the second weekend of March, on the 11th and 12th, and you can't expect to win either of those games. You've got some games here where Ottawa's a team you have to beat, and to lose in the fashion in which you did. I mean, it's not good at all. Not good at all. Hellberg, by the way, 1-2 in his last couple of starts. The lone win coming against Calgary. It started.
What are your thoughts on the back-to-back?
I like the back-to-back without travel. So it doesn't bother me. I know it's something that the NHL had worked on as far from a scheduling standpoint. How do you get more games that are closer in the region? If you're going to go to the North Atlantic, can you knock out Boston, the New York teams, Philly? You know what I'm saying? Can you take some of those teams out all in the same trip? Can you take out the Florida Panthers and Tampa Bay Lightning and Carolina Hurricanes on the same trip? I have no problem. Ottawa's a short trip anyways. Back to back, same team, same time, same place. I have no issue with it. I like it a lot. And to be honest with you, the players, I don't hear much griping from them. It's only one league that says they can't play back to back. So, I mean, to me, I like it. Do you like it?
I love it. I love the whole mini series type of thing that the NBA and NHL have been moving towards since COVID. I think it's smart. I have talked about teams like Portland, for example, when teams in your division are 2 time zones away, you need to cut down on travel. Imagine we don't have anything like that. It's no, we don't understand what it's like when your team is playing a game, it's 7:00 where it's being played and it's 5:00 where at home. Like, we've never experienced that. So they need to cut it down for the teams that travel a ton on the West Coast, and this is how they're doing it.
Yeah, and vice versa. I mean, it's tough when, our body clock says it's 10, but it's a 7:00 puck drop or tip off when you're in, Sacramento or Anaheim or, when you're in Portland, So if you're gonna make a West Coast trip, you should have multiple games out there. And for teams that are in the West coming east, they should have multiple games over here. And one thing I don't like about the schedule is that you'll see, we'll go play New York and Philadelphia, the Islanders and the Flyers in back-to-back games on the 4th and the 5th. And then we'll have a home game against Chicago, then go on the road to Boston, and then come back. Boston's a Saturday game, 1:00 on ABC on March 11th, and then come right back to play Boston again at home on March 12th. Like that to me, you're not going to be able to appease everybody, but they do a couple of those. The back-to-back against the same team is 2 games is okay. I think when you start to get more than 2 games, I think that's when things get fierce, right? And things will get a little bit chippier. I would expect tonight to be pretty aggressive. I think tonight's must watch TV, because I think the Wings will come out with a little bit worse attitude and worse in a positive way. If I'm Derek Lalonde, I'm starting to call some guys into the office like, hey, show them a couple clips. Are you gonna allow this? Is that the kind of man that you are? Because if so, then I need to know that right now. Are you gonna make it? Or are you gonna do something about this? If you got to come in there with some high heat, I mean, you got to do what you got to do. Like that's the game. That's the game. Don't run your face into my elbow. That's all I'm saying. If it has to happen, it has to happen. But I would look for a tone setting. Let's catch one of these guys across the middle real quick one time and send them and just get that message set early. Come out with your hair on fire. Remember the Titans? We blitz all night. You're going to need one of those kind of efforts tonight. I think it would be good not only for to prove to Ottawa that you can do it, but also to prove to yourself that you can do it. So I'm looking forward to tonight's game at 7:00 on the road against Ottawa, because that's going to be I think it's going to be a lot of fun. You don't always have to win, but you have to answer. Having you battle, win or lose, and no fear of it are 2 entirely different mindsets for your opponents. And if it makes your Wings fans feel better, Ottawa also 2-1 against the Bruins this season. They can put it together some nights, just nothing consistent. That comes from Chris, resident Bruins fan. Ugh, I don't know how he got on that train, but whatever. All right, we'll step aside, and we shall return. Freddie is here. He's talking Lions draft. We'll hop into that next year on X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network.
It's time to go on the court with Tim Stout.
It's a new day to celebrate and be free. It's a new day full of action and excitement, because it's a day for winning. Only at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. It's a new day. Visit SoaringEagleCasino.com. Final week of the men's Big Ten basketball season is in here for Michigan State. 1 game on the road, 1 at home, and 1 probably not being made up, and that probably would have been a win had it been made up against Minnesota. But that's then, and this is now, and the Spartans' next task is at Nebraska on Tuesday night at the start of the year. That looked like almost a certain win, right? But Nebraska's been hot. 5 out of 6 wins in February, an 11-3 record this season at home, coming off a big win this last Saturday at home over Minnesota. And what do the Spartans have left? After their tough loss Saturday at Iowa, they get right back up, have to go right back on the road out west of Nebraska, where that'll be a raucous crowd, before the home finale at noon Saturday against Ohio State.
The new M-Perks is here. Reward yourself with dollars off your purchases, fuel rewards, and more at Meijer. Earn 10 points on nearly every dollar you spend when you shop in-store or on Meijer.com. Then use your points to claim and redeem rewards any way you want. Plus, earn points for every qualifying prescription filled at your Meijer pharmacy. Download the Meijer app to sign up, or if you're already using M-Perks, start earning points and saving today. Save more with M-Perks. Exclusions apply. See Meijer.com to learn more.
We might have just come out with our most refreshing Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer yet. It's called the Essential Collection. It's made with coconut water and real fruit juice, so it's always going to have a real refreshing fruit taste. Can refreshing get any more refreshing? Yep, it can, and it just did. Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, made with coconut water and real fruit juice for a superior taste. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, IRC Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Huge here for my good friend Tom Rosenbach. Now, he's a managing partner at Br0's. They are one of America's top accounting and business firms, and they're stronger than ever before with their new partnership with Doran Mayhew from the east side of Michigan. If you're a small business, big business, and you're looking for the professionals who can help your business on any tax or business need you have, go to BeanGarter.com. That is BeanGarter.com. And we're close to March Madness, so be looking for our huge bracket challenge where you could win big cash, courtesy of Tom Rosenbach and his team from Br0's. We'll have more details in the coming weeks. But if you're a business decision maker or owner and you're looking for professionals to help your business, contact Tom Rosenbach and his team at Br0's. BeanGarter.com.
It's time for Michigan Sports Talk Morning Show, broadcasting live all across the state of Michigan and Northwest Ohio. This is X's and Bros.
Swings it out to Sadiq Bey. Gets Benny in the car.
To Abdul-Rahman at midcourt. Extra pass. And it goes for the win. The three-pointer by Jordan Poole. Here's the give. Walker. Kenneth Walker. Touchdown. Spotty.
Goff's got it. Back. Looks. Throws. Ends up. Yes. Caught. Touchdown. Detroit Lions. They did it. Amon-Ra St. Brown in the receiving end.
Sends one to deep left center field. Back it goes, and that ball's out of here. A grand slam from Miguel Cabrera. He's got 2 goals. Larkin in on goal. Scores! His first career hat trick in his 7th season for Dylan Larkin.
Here's your host, Anthony Bellino.
Rise and shine, folks. Welcome back on this Tuesday. Hour number 3 coming to you live on the 28th and final day of the month of February. January took 74 days. February went through in about 2 weeks. Incredible how that happens. Let's get right to the Meijer Supercenter guest line. 248-951-2176. 248-951-2176. That's where we find Freddie. Good morning, Freddie. How are you, my friend?
Could somebody tell me what's going on with traffic today? Why is traffic so heavy today?
I'm not really sure why traffic is so heavy, but I did realize this yesterday while driving. I don't know if it was just a bad day on the roads or if I just ran into all the bad drivers, but man, people were strange individuals yesterday. Everybody behaving themselves out there, Freddie?
You sure they weren't maybe slowing down to kind of gawk at you? They saw you and said, "Oh my God, that's Anthony Bellino." You sure that wasn't it?
I needed to get a bag of frozen. I needed a bag of frozen carrots, so I ran to the store real quick last night to get a bag of frozen carrots. I open up the freezer door, and I'm going to grab the carrots, and I feel like somebody behind me, right? And so I'm like, all right. So I grab the carrots, and I'm like, oh, I'll probably get maybe some broccoli, or maybe I'll get something else while I'm here. So I throw the carrots in my basket, and this guy is like holding the door behind me, and I'm like, okay. So I just kind of look back, and I step out, and this guy's just rummaging through. I let him in the same door, just rummaging, grabbing everything that he can, and then just speeds off. And I'm like, okay, all right. So I'll open the door back up, get what I need. I saw him in the parking lot. I beat him out of the parking lot. He did all that rushing around, acting like an idiot for nothing. Like, wait your turn.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, not you. I meant that guy who was behind me trying to hold the freezer door for me. Just wait your turn. I'm not going to take, there's like 5,000 bags of frozen vegetables here. I'm not going to take them all, dude. Relax. So what do you got going on this morning, Freddie?
This world, man, I tell you, people are just. I won't even say the word. It befuddles me the way people are nowadays. Everyone's in a hurry. Everyone's rude. Everyone's Every time we go to the store with my kids, I always say, "Let's go. Get to the park. Get to the car. Go right in the car. Get in the park. Walk. Don't be talking in the parking lot. Get right in the car. Shut the door. Lock the doors. People are nuts.
They are nuts. I always tell people, The Walking Dead was less about zombies and more about human-to-human interaction in the course of a disaster. Like, that's what The Walking Dead was actually about.
My son, being with the autism, he's kind of turning into Rain Man. We get in the car. He's like, "Let's go. Let's lock the doors. People are nuts." Like, yep. Oh yeah.
When he's old enough to go to Vegas, come on, little one, let's go. Let's work on that retirement fund a little bit.
Absolutely. All right. So first of all, I sent in a text yesterday. You didn't read it. Dave from Hudsonville. I just want you to know you have a big fan in me. I love when you call. Just love it. Dave from Hudsonville. I actually text Dave from Ice Cream Land. Anthony didn't read that yesterday.
I read that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. I owe you an apology. My bad. Dave.
Everybody's apologizing today.
Yeah. So Dave from Hudsonville. Yeah. Lions draft. I tuned in a little later this morning. I heard you talking about Dak Prescott, and you said, "Hey, man, what are the Dallas Cowboys going to do with these big contracts? They got to sign all these players." So let's shift it over to the Lions. if the Lions sign Jared Goff long term, what are we going to do with all our players that are coming up? Our young players are going to look for big contracts. Penny Sewell, Amon St. Brown, guys like that. What are we going to do if we sign Goff to a large contract?
Pray that the salary cap goes up. Clutch our pearls and know that Jared Goff is not going to get the same sort of, Dak Prescott right now in the books for $49 million. And with Stephen Jones saying that he believes that they can win it all with Dak. That's really the big story, is that they're going to restructure it. How they're going to do it, whether they're going to extend him and free up even more space and convert some of that money into a signing bonus. I'm sure that's eventually what will happen with Jared Goff I'm sure some restructuring will be done. And if they convert it into a signing bonus, they'll be able to free up a little bit of space. I don't know, however, if they want to go with a contract extension at the end of this if the next quarterback is not already in place. And whether
it'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say whether they get that guy in the first round or the second round of this year's draft, if they feel comfortable with that. I mean, I'm not necessarily opposed to it. I don't want it at 6. Unless it's somehow like a guy like C.J. Stroud were to fall, but even then, is he the guy that's going to take you to the next level? He might be.
I don't like C.J. Stroud. I'm not a fan of him as a quarterback. I know he redeemed himself versus Georgia, but I think that was just a lot of quarterbacks redeem themselves from one game, if you ask me. But I just think Georgia was sleepwalking that night, and that's kind of what happened. So. I can't speak to Will Levis. I never saw him play, so I can't speak to him. So it'd be unfair for me to say let's take him at 6. But if the Lions think he's good, yeah, go ahead. But my thing is, Jared Goff. Jared Goff's going to be interesting because this is pretty much his last contract, his last big contract. If you would think he's 28 years old, if he does stay in Detroit and Lions do keep him, do you think he would take a discount to stay here, given that the Rams threw him to the garbage, and he came out of there pretty much, shiny, and said, hey, Detroit gave me a shot and revived my career. Do I give this team a discount, or do I say, listen, this is my last big contract. I want to get my money. I don't know which way Jared Goff would go with that. I really don't know, but it'll be interesting to find out. I wouldn't rush to sign him, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and he's got 2 more years. He's got this year and he's got 2024. He'll make about $21 million this year, and then next year he'll make $21.5 million. And so when you think about having a veteran quarterback with that kind of money right there, it counts for a lot more against the cap because the way it was structured. He counts for $31 million against the cap this year and $31.5 next year. So those numbers are a little bit different. But when you talk about a base salary, that's a pretty those are relatively good numbers considering the fact that the quarterback market is constantly resetting itself. And when you have guys like Dak Prescott, who's pretty much I would say unproven. I mean, you haven't won anything. At least Patrick Mahomes has a Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Like Jalen Hurts being able to get there. I mean, Jared Goff is a guy who got there, and I think that his number where it's at right now is probably pretty stable. He'll be 31 when he reaches unrestricted free agency in 2025. That will probably be his last major deal. So whether or not he's going to go for the gusto and want the entire bag, I don't know if that'll be possible. Just because you'll have a lot of other guys that are up for contract renewals, and obviously if he's going to re-sign, it's got to be a situation that A, is working for him, and B, he's smart enough to know. Like, he's a guy that he's got a pretty level head. He's got his foundation. He just seems to really be very, very self-aware. And I think that really works out in the Lions' best interest.
Yeah, let's hope so. And when Penny Sewell signs, I'm telling you, I've been saying this for a year. This guy's going to break the bank when it comes to offensive linemen. He is. Whether he signs, he's going to break the bank for. He's going to get left tackle money. I don't care if he's playing right tackle, right guard. I don't care. He's going to get left tackle money. There's no doubt about it. Just he's going to break the bank. He's going to change. He's going to change what offensive linemen get for many, many years. And lastly, I tweeted out yesterday. I don't care if the Lions take. I want the Lions to take quarterback early, but they got to sign a veteran. Carson Wentz got released yesterday, and He's the kind of veteran I want to kind of see in the back. I'm not saying he would be the only name, but he's the kind of guy I want for a year as a veteran backup, because if they think they're going to win, you got to have somebody back there like a Case Keenum or a Carson Wentz or somebody like that 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 can come in and win a few games for you, or at least a few quarters for you. So we'll see. Anyway,
Dan and Freddie been talking off the air. Dan said the same thing to me just now during the break. We'll step aside. We're back with more X's and Bros after this here on the Michigan Sports Network.
Imagine this, winning big at Soaring Eagle. Get a taste of sweet rewards up to $5,000 cash every Friday in February from 7 to 11 p.m. Play for a chance to take home the chocolate bar with prizes from $1,000 premium play all the way up to $5,000 cash. Don't miss sweet rewards. Only at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Your getaway reimagined. Visit SoaringEagleCasino.com for complete rules and details.
Huge here for my good friend Tom Rosenbach. Now, he's a managing partner at Bean Garter. They are one of America's top accounting and business firms, and they're stronger than ever before with their new partnership with Doran Mayhew from the east side of Michigan. If you're a small business, big business, and you're looking for the professionals who can help your business on any tax or business need you have, go to BeanGarter.com. That is BeanGarter.com. And we're close to March Madness, so be looking for our huge bracket challenge where you could win big cash, courtesy of Tom Rosenbach and his team from Bean Garter. We'll have more details in the coming weeks. But if you're a business decision maker or owner and you're looking for professionals to help your business, contact Tom Rosenbach and his team at Bean Garter. BeanGarter.com.
The new M-Perks is here. Reward yourself with dollars off your purchases, fuel rewards, and more at Meijer. Earn 10 points on nearly every dollar you spend when you shop in-store or on Meijer.com. Then use your points to claim and redeem rewards any way you want. Plus, earn points for every qualifying prescription filled at your Meijer pharmacy. Download the Meijer app to sign up, or if you're already using M-Perks, start earning points and saving today. Save more with M-Perks. Exclusions apply. See Meijer.com to learn more.
From Traverse City to the Glass City, GR to the Motor City, you're listening to X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network.
Yeah, I got to let this one run, Dan. This reminds me going down to Daytona, spring break, 1984. Had the big van, carpet on the inside.
Leisure suits.
Oh, chest hair poking out. Who doesn't love that? I mean, come on. Come on, who doesn't love that? I love it.
You might be right on that date. 1980. This might be right around 1984.
I was there. Damn. Actually, it was a little earlier. It's been like, this song might have been 84. My Daytona days, spring break, were like 81. That was, what a time. Coming out of the 70s. Oh, turn up a little bit, Dan. Turn up a little bit, Dan. There's a whole host of people right now in the demographic of, I don't know, 40 plus, maybe in the 50s range, 50, 60, listening to us right now. This song is sending them into flashbacks, the time of their lives. No cell phones. Had to be home by the street lights. Had to remember phone numbers and directions in your brain. Oh, what a time to be alive. No computers. Those were the days, folks. Hope you enjoyed them. Hope you enjoyed them. Great time. All right, so
Do you know the origin of this song?
No.
I believe they were told they could not write any songs. They were bad songwriters because they couldn't write any songs that weren't about girls. And they said, we'll make one about a race car. And it ended up being about girls anyway.
I mean, hey, what is it? SD and rock and roll? Something like that? Those are the days?
So I'm reading the Wikipedia. By the way, it's released in 1984, so bing bong on that one. It said he was accused by reporters of singing about only women, partying, and fast cars, and he realized he'd never written a song about fast cars.
There you go.
So, boom.
Roasted. I saw this article come up on The Athletic. It was the 2023 NFL Super Bowl era franchise rankings. And I thought that this was pretty interesting because Super Bowl 57 having the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs are high up on the totem pole right now. They got a pretty good swing going, but it's not the first time that they've been good, right? And, you know, it's like how do you go about trying to rank these teams? Well, I thought The Athletic did was really, really cool. So they gave you 11 points for winning the Super Bowl. They gave you 5 points for losing the Super Bowl. They gave you 3 points for an AFC or NFC championship game appearance and 1 point for making the playoffs. Kind of an arbitrary scale here, but, you know, I thought that was pretty interesting how they weighted it towards, you know, who would be, you know, at the top of the franchises. And I think that it's interesting because you look at tier 1, as they put it, the heavyweights. And there are some teams in this. There's only 4 teams here. You have the Pittsburgh Steelers with, through the 2023 season, had 116 points. Now, if you win the Super Bowl, you just get 11 points. Like you don't get the 1 point for making the playoffs and the 3 points for the championship game and the 5 point, you know, you don't get any of that. You just get a straight 11. Like that's it. So if you made the playoffs and got a point, then you made the playoffs. If you missed it, obviously you don't get anything. If you made it to a championship game, you just get 3 points. If you made it to the Super Bowl but you lost, you just get the 5. Right? So it makes sense on how they want to do that. They had Pittsburgh at 1, followed by New England with 115, Dallas at 113, and San Francisco at 107. I don't think that you're going to see the Dallas Cowboys, like as much as I dislike them, like they're still going to be good. Like they're still going to be a good team next year. San Francisco has found a way through some kind of somewhat lean years to bounce right back and be in that conversation. If they could figure out their quarterback position, you know, maybe we have something there. In New England, I don't know. They had such a good run, a dominant run, a historical, never to be repeated run in the 2000s and the 2010s that I don't know. I mean, you know, Mac Jones getting a nod of confidence from some teammates is always good in the press, but outside of that, I don't really know. In Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh has had consistency in ownership. They've had consistency in the front office. They've had consistency at the head coach and at the quarterback position up until now. So that's really a monstrous question looming over the Pittsburgh Steelers. In Tier 2, they had the light heavyweights. Could you guess any of the teams that would be in Tier 2 out of the light heavyweights? Who would be in that next group? And by the way,
can you give me the heavyweights real quick again?
Yep, the heavyweights, the top four programs and franchises in the NFL were the Steelers, the Patriots, the Cowboys, and the San Francisco 49ers. Who do you think would be in that next group? And I'll give you a hint. There's 5 teams here.
The Packers?
Bing bong.
Yeah, Packers came in at number 5, 82 total points.
Buffalo for all their lost Super Bowls.
That's a good one.
Surprisingly not. Yeah. Surprisingly not. There's a team in here that's it's going to rattle the cage a little bit. There's a couple of them.
Eagles?
No. The Raiders came in at 6. The Broncos at 7 with 76 total points, followed up by the LA Rams and then the Kansas City Chiefs. Green Bay has a monstrous question right now with a $50 million quarterback that went and hid in a hobbit hut for who knows how long. The Raiders bailed on their quarterback. We don't know what they're going to do. The Broncos just, hired Sean Payton, which is, good for them. Russell Wilson, maybe they'll figure it out. And last year was just an anomaly. The LA Rams seem to be a little bit on the fringe here because of, will they trade Ramsey to try to get some of that draft capital back that they spent to get those Super Bowls? Will they, what's the deal with Matthew Stafford? Bobby Wagner now up for grabs. Like they're making some significant changes there where they mortgage their future to win right now. They got that title, but where does that franchise sit now trying to rebuild moving forward? That's the question for Les Snead. And then the Kansas City Chiefs, I don't see any stopping them. As long as Patrick Mahomes is healthy and playing football, and Andy Reid's the head coach there, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's a pretty good franchise that can definitely climb the ranks. Then you have Tier 3, the middleweights. In this tier, there are 6 teams. That's where you find the New York Giants and the Indianapolis Colts tied at 61 points apiece. Until they find a quarterback in Indy, they have massive problems. The Giants showed a little bit of life. Dable and company have them rallying and rebounding. Miami, will their quarterback be healthy moving forward? Washington moves on from Carson Wentz, so now they got to find one. The Minnesota Vikings just kind of stuck in mediocrity. And then the Philadelphia Eagles, a team on the rise with one of the bright, shining stars, a very promising Jalen Hurts. Things are looking up for them. Then you have Tier 4, the welterweights. That's where you find the Buffalo Bills, checked in at number 16 with 41 points, followed up by the Seahawks, the Ravens, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Chicago Bears, the Tennessee Titans, the New York Jets, the Cincinnati Bengals, and the New Orleans Saints. Then you keep going, and you find Tier 5, the lightweights. We're still not there, folks. 26 total points for the Falcons, followed up by the Chargers and the Browns, 25 apiece, and then the Carolina Panthers with 20 points. And then welcome to tier number 6. The Arizona Cardinals with 15 points, the Jacksonville Jaguars with 14 points. The Jacksonville Jaguars became a franchise in when? 1994? 1995? 14 points in franchise history. The Detroit Lions, 14 points in franchise history. Check in at number 31, followed up by the Houston Texans. And the reason Detroit is behind Jacksonville is because they've been around in this league for a whole lot longer, and they average 0.25 points per season. Just tough. 12 playoff years, 1 Final Four, no Super Bowl losses, no Super Bowl wins, 2 points in the last decade. The Detroit Lions, number 31. That's heartbreaking. Be back with more X's and Bros after this here on the Michigan Sports Network.
The new M-Perks is here. Reward yourself with dollars off your purchases, fuel rewards, and more at Meijer. Earn 10 points on nearly every dollar you spend when you shop in-store or on Meijer.com. Then use your points to claim and redeem rewards any way you want. Plus, earn points for every qualifying prescription filled at your Meijer pharmacy. Download the Meijer app to sign up, or if you're already using M-Perks, start earning points and saving today. Save more with M-Perks. Exclusions apply. See Meijer.com to learn more.
Huge here for my good friend Tom Rosenbach. Now, he's a managing partner at Br0's. They are one of America's top accounting and business firms, and they're stronger than ever before with their new partnership with Doran Mayhew from the east side of Michigan. If you're a small business, big business, and you're looking for the professionals who can help your business on any tax or business need you have, go to BeanGarter.com. That is BeanGarter.com. And we're close to March Madness, so be looking for our huge bracket challenge where you could win big cash, courtesy of Tom Rosenbach and his team from Br0's. We'll have more details in the coming weeks. But if you're a business decision maker or owner and you're looking for professionals to help your business, contact Tom Rosenbach and his team at Br0's. BeanGarter.com.
Imagine this, winning big at Soaring Eagle. Get a taste of sweet rewards, up to $5,000 cash. Every Friday in February from 7 to 11 p.m. Play for a chance to take home the chocolate bar with prizes from $1,000 premium play all the way up to $5,000 cash. Don't miss sweet rewards. Only at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Your getaway reimagined. Visit SoaringEagleCasino.com for complete rules and details.
Share your thoughts all morning long on the Meyer Guest Line. Call 248-951-2176. That's 248-951-2176. Now, back to Danny, Ryan, and AB.
Welcome back here to X's and Bros, Michigan Sports Network. Great to have you riding along with us, no matter who you are, where you are, how you may be listening, all across the great state of Michigan and in Northwest Ohio as well. Text the keyword Sports Radio, send that to 21,000. Sports Radio to 21000. Battling a hiccup right there. Meyer Supercenter guest line 248-951-2176. 248-951-2176. That's where we find USDA. Scott is on hold. Good morning, Scott. How are you, my friend?
Good. How are you this morning? Hey, you guys did bring some nostalgia back. We warmed up in high school to Jump from Van Halen and Welcome to the Jungle from Guns N' Roses.
Can I tell you this, that I never want to hear the song Jump ever again? For whatever reason, I don't. It started with football. We had hired this guy he wasn't a DJ. He was just clicking the buttons to play music, and he played the same 6 songs all season long, and one of them was Jump. And I'm like, dude, nobody's jumping out here. There's no jump ball. Like I get it if you want to like jump. If you have a jump ball, okay, I get it. But outside of that, like no. By the way, they need to fix that in college basketball and in high school basketball. Give up the possession arrow. If it's a jump ball, make them jump for it like the NBA.
No, we would dunk to that before it became a technical in high school. When you dunked in warm-ups.
Oh, a little humble brag there.
Huh?
Is that a little humble brag? That's what the kids say when you try to. That's what we dunked to back in my day. We would dunk to that.
During layup drill. That's the one they played. So yeah, got all the crowd going. But anyhow, no, I mean. We had 3 D1 players, and then we had in state quarterfinals was, I think it's still the largest high school game ever watched. We played Flint Northwestern. They had to move it to the Flint IMA. It was like over 14,000 people.
That is a lot. That's a lot of people for a high school game. Hey, Scott, we got to bounce out, man. Appreciate the trip down memory lane. I knew that song would trigger you. One of the guys who I'm sure is probably going to listen to Panama on his way to the arena tonight. The coach, Kyle Barlow, joins us now. Coach Barlow, good morning to you, my friend. How are you, partner?
Great morning, man. How are you doing? It sounds like you got some good callers on this morning. I never made it very far in high school basketball, so it's good, like you said, to reminisce a little bit. My era was every warm-up song in high school and continued into college was "We Ready." You know what I mean? Like everybody had that song, and now even in games today, when they start playing that. The bring them out. Like when the team's coming out, I'm like, okay, all right. Have we been down this same road before? Right? Like, come on, can we get something new? It's not like the music industry is getting any shortage of songs out there.
Yeah, I like that that Lil Uzi Vert, I Just Want to Rock. They've been playing that more and more during warm-ups, and we play it before tip-off at Toledo, and it seems to really the players seem to really enjoy it. I really like it. Kind of a catchy little beat there for a couple minutes, so that's a good time. Coach Barlow, I'm having some trouble trying to figure out what exactly, because you did your GA years under John Bellino at the University of Michigan. You're a real Michigan man, Concordia alum. That's where he played his college ball. Don't let him fool you. This guy had game back in the day. I had people telling me, a guy by the name of Garrett Keeler, by the way? Have you ever heard that name?
I do.
Okay, yeah, Garrett Keeler is like, oh, man, I got to listen to Kyle. He and I were at Concordia at the same time. I'm like, no, you weren't. Maybe you guys were. I don't know. But he looks forward to you every week.
Bellino, it's a school of 400 undergrads. Like, yeah, I knew the guy, right?
That's crazy. You knew Garrett Keeler. Wow, small world. He's just in Arizona, living his best life, downtown Scottsdale, he and his wife. Oh, man. Anyways, neither here nor there. I got to ask you, I'm having some trouble trying to figure out whether or not the Michigan Wolverines are going to make the tournament. I mean, what I know the loss to Central Michigan.
You brought this up.
Is an
anchor. I was hoping. Yeah. We'll forget about that. I was hoping you brought this up because 3 weeks ago you were asking me to write their eulogy. I mean, you were the pastor. You were asking me to write the eulogy, speak the eulogy for Michigan. You're talking to me about what it takes to get in the NIT, and I said, hold on, Bellino. Like, the beauty of the Big Ten is you play net quad one games every game in the Big Ten. Wisconsin at home, quad one game. Rutgers on the road, quad one game, right? Like, you get every single chance to get yourself back in this thing, and Michigan has. Like, they climb back into the picture. Now, going down to Illinois, right, is the remaining game, and then I forget, I'm blanking. They got somebody at home who's a quad one game to end the year, right? I forget who it is.
No, we got Illinois on the road. This is the song that was playing in the background as I was talking about what does it take to get into the NIT.
Yep.
Just hitting them with little taps there. We've got Illinois on the road and Indiana at Assembly Hall on the road to close down the season. That's what the schedule's looking like. Wisconsin was our last home game. Just like they drew it up, Terrence Williams just threw it into Hunter Dickinson, and he just was like, here, one dribble, just chuck it, and it went in. Pandemonium. Oh, my God, went in overtime. It was crazy.
A little reminiscent of Chrysler Center back in December when the Bobcats threw one off the backboard with 1 second left.
It almost worked.
Forced overtime. It was a little reminiscent of that, right? But no, man, what a great game. And, I thought, they controlled early and, obviously Wisconsin came back. But anyways, my thing is, I told you that there's going to be a chance to make this tournament. Now, if you split, because these are both quad one games you got coming up, if you split those and then you win 1-2 and, I don't know, dare I say 3 in the Big Ten tournament, you're putting yourself in a really good position to maybe get in that playing game for that 12 seed or that 8-9 seed, whatever they do it now. I think the 12 seed is the playing game now. So you're putting yourself in a good position there.
So the BPI, just to tell people how screwed up this is, the Basketball Power Index has Michigan ranked at 53rd at 17-12. They have Ohio State. That's 10th in the Big Ten. They have Ohio State at 9th right now, the BPI, and 43rd in BPI. It's just crazy. Strength of schedule rank for Michigan, 24th. Strength of record rank, 53rd. I don't know. You have net rankings. They're like 50 to 55. They're going to be somewhere in that range right now. Like, yeah. You figure if we're looking for the top, 64 plus 4 in the net rankings to make the tournament, like, does that mean they're good enough to get in? What's the selection committee looking at?
It doesn't, because you probably need to be top 45 at minimum in the net rankings. I think in the history of the NCAA tournament, there's only been X amount of 50-plus net rankings, only a handful to make the playing game because, it's 68 teams, and you're like, well, all you got to do is be top 68, but you forget there's, how many ever automatic qualifiers? 32. Yeah, 32 automatic qualifiers, which, the automatic qualifier for the MAC, for example, because I know this, at best is going to be Toledo at a net 80. So, that, and then that takes one spot off your 68. So now you got to be top 67. And then you do that for all the leagues. So you really need to be top 40, top 45 to really feel like you have a chance. But that's where the net rankings, the quad one victories really come into play. And those can really boost you up the net rankings, because Michigan wasn't even top 50 or top 60 a little while ago. So they're really making a push here late. Very similar to last year, Bellino. A certain point guard starts playing a lot better.
Oh, yeah.
Surrounding pieces start playing a little better, Bellino. Give me a little chills. Think about last year.
I'm telling you what, I tweeted this out a while back, but I knew very early on, once Jalen Llewellyn went down with his injury, Doug McDaniel was going to be asked to be more than just a change of pace guard for spot minutes here. This kid was going to have to grow up, and he was going to have to grow up fast. And I'm watching him play, and this is a Doug McDaniel and Terrace Reed Jr. fan account. That's my Twitter. My Twitter is Terrace and Doug propaganda machine is what it is. It's just like those two can do no wrong. They're so young. They're so raw. Doug is figuring it out. He's doing an amazing job of doing so. And for me, looking at this team, Kobe Buffkin really coming into his own. He took some shots the other day. We were like, he might be reading the old Twitter, might be reading John Hollinger tweet, talking about, hey, here comes Kobe Buffkin, first rounder. What's he going to do? And it's like, please don't read that. Don't even pay attention to it. Don't talk to anybody. Throw your phone in the ocean. But it's interesting, things are really moving around the court. They're using Hunter Dickinson a lot more, and, one guy hasn't been in the lineup. It does raise my eyebrows a little bit there.
So one thing about Kobe, because obviously he's been playing really well. I saw on Twitter this morning, so, how about don't believe everything you read there, right? But he leads the Big Ten in field goal percentage at the rim he's plus 70%, so he's a little bit over 70%. Guess who's number 2 on that list?
Zach Edey.
Field goal. Yes, Zach Edey. Absolutely. So Kobe Buffkin has a higher field goal percent at the rim than Zach Edey. Now I'm sure Zach Edey's got more volume because the dude never leaves the paint, right? So it's
3
very
seconds.
fascinating to see that. Yeah, right. Very fascinating to see that stat. The other thing I was going to say, and this is more towards the general college basketball portion of the segment, right, is when you look at the net rankings, and we were going to do a deep dive a couple of weeks ago, but we got distracted. Who would have known? And people I know are saying, well, Michigan's tied for second in the Big Ten. They could be all alone in second place as little as next week, or in the next few days they could be all alone in second place. How are they not in the tournament? And I'll tell you, because not all 11-7, not all 12-7 records are created equal. The way the net rankings work is they rank your wins based on where they're at and your quality opponent. So one, they rank it where you're at, right? And it's 1.3 plus 1.3 if you win on the road, plus 1 if you win on neutral, and plus 0.7 if you win at home. They rank it by opponent, and that's when your quad 1, quad 2, quad 3 come in handy. And you got to be a top, I think, 25 win at home to be a quad 1, top 50 net ranking on the neutral, top 75 on the road. So obviously these 2 road games are going to be quad 1 games for Michigan because both those teams are in the top 75 in net rankings. So when you look at the records, especially in Big Ten play, it can be a little deceiving because all Michigan has around them and below them in the standings are tournament teams. So people are going to sit here and say, well, why is that not? And I'm going to tell you this: it's not all 11-7, not all 12-7, not all 13-7 records are created equal.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? And it is. I wish I don't know. Like, there is no perfect science to figuring this out, and that's why I guess we have Selection Sunday. That's why we have automatic qualifiers, from the conferences, and in there a try to assemble the best field possible. How many teams do you think from the Big Ten get into the NCAA tournament? I've seen it as high as 9 or 10. I've seen it hovering around 8. Bracketology is going crazy. I mean, you have 5th ranked Purdue, 21st Maryland, 15th Indiana. You have Northwestern in there that's rattled the cage a little bit. Michigan State has fallen a little bit behind in the Big Ten standings. What about a Rutgers or an Illinois? What's Iowa worth at this point? Then you have Michigan. Right. It's like, holy mackerel, that's a lot of teams.
I think all those teams are in, besides the Michigan, who you mentioned, and then Wisconsin, who you didn't mention, who are both kind of teetering on the last 4 in, last 4 out. I think those are your 2 wild cards right there. Like, they're going to have to get some wins down the stretch, obviously, and win a couple games of the Big Ten tournament, obviously. So for the teams you just rattled off, what was that, 6 or 7? I'd feel pretty good about 6 or 7. It really just depends on what Michigan and Wisconsin do down the stretch to get to that 8 or 9 clip for the Big Ten this year.
Is it weird that when you beat a team, you then root for them? Like, I saw this debate going back and forth, like, Michigan fans, you can't root for Michigan State. It's Michigan State. And it's like, well, nope. You did beat them, so you kind of want them to win, right?
Absolutely. No, it's not weird. This is sports, guys. What are we talking about? Would you rather Michigan be sitting home and watching the tournament as a Michigan fan? Your team's not in it. You can't fill out that bracket just because you hate Michigan State so much who's in already. Like, no, that's to me, that's stupid, man. You take all the help you can get. Right? At the end of the day, you root for your teams when you play, but no, man, shoot. Whatever it takes, buddy.
My man almost just cursed. I just want you to know that he almost he said, what is going on here? Shoot, he says. And I'm wondering, I do have to wonder this. And from a Michigan State perspective, you split your games. The first one was an absolute rock fight. Why is it that Michigan is such a question mark, as in last 4, first 4 out or next 4 out, but Michigan State has like a guaranteed, they're in. And it's like, well,
I mean, you just look at the strengthened schedule, and then you look at what's the other one, the strengthened record. Mm-hmm. And, Michigan State by far played probably next to Alabama and a couple teams like that, probably a top 5 schedule in the country in the non-conference. So, yeah, you look at that really does matter when it comes down to it at the end of the day. Playing that aircraft carrier game where they lost because I think it was Jaden Akins hoisted a three and the wind took it at the last second, so he couldn't make it, right, on the aircraft carrier. You look at games like that, and those go a long, long way, especially this time of year, not because people necessarily remember those games, but because the metrics are in favor of teams who play those games. Where Michigan played a good schedule, but, obviously they lost to Central Michigan. Ohio University probably should have won that game, but, Michigan made the plays down the stretch, and obviously the big plays were theirs. So you look at those things and those factors, and that's why Michigan State has a nod right now, even though they have similar records and they split in their conference play, in their games.
At the end of the day, you got to control what you can control, and 3 straight for Michigan is a really good start here. Now, if they could just, handle business on the road at Illinois, if they can win the next 2, they will play in a couple of days at Illinois, and then they'll play on the 5th at Indiana. They get that win at Indiana. Yeah. Boy, that would look really, really good because they should have had that game at home. But that's when I saw Jalen Hood-Schifino for the first time in person, and I said, he is out of here. This is it for him. We don't have to worry about him anymore at Indiana. He is leaving. Goodbye, and hello, NBA. See you later, kid. I could not be more impressed with what that young man, his body of work, and just his frame. 6'6", point guard. Like, the dude's built for long-term success.
Just ask Purdue.
Yeah,
just ask
right?
Purdue, right? Hey, I got a quick question for you. I know we're running up against it. Do you think it's Bush League? I know you love Matt Painter. You get to sit next to those coaches. I heard your Izzo story. It was great. You get to sit next to Matt Painter when he's in the Chrysler Center. Do you think it's Bush League when he says after the game about Jalen Hood-Schifino, he said, yeah, we won't be seeing him much anymore. Do you think that's kind of gamesmanship? Do you think that's a backhanded compliment? Do you think that's just legitimate praise? Or do you think, that's hey, even Matt Painter thinks I should go to the NBA. There's no way I'm coming back. What do you think? Where do you stand on that?
Well, you gave me 3 options. That's A, B, C, and D, all the above. Yeah, it's a big get out of here, kid. I don't want to see, I'm telling you, he came out of the floor. I'm like, Jalen Hood-Schifino, okay, I've seen him a couple times on TV. Now I get to see him in person. Seeing it in person is so much different than seeing it on film. Would you agree?
Yes. Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
My dad was sitting there watching our game after. He came to one of our games, and we were watching film at my house afterwards. He said, you know what's crazy? It is way more physical and fast in person than what we're watching right now.
Oh.
Absolutely, man.
Oh, it's 100%. Like, I was watching, who was I watching? I was watching Hunter Dickinson and the little skinny freshman guy from Wisconsin. Just battling, just banging on each other. And I'm like, yeah. Like, to get a post catch right now in the Big Ten, you got to work. You run over the half court line, punch the time clock. Like, it's going to be physical.
Getting a rebound?
Yeah, and so
how about getting a rebound?
Matt Painter, get him out of here. That kid's so good. Oh man, don't have to worry about him anymore. Like, he's out of here. Like, yeah, backhanded, and yeah, get out of here, and yeah, put a little birdie in your ear. Get the hell out of here, Jalen Hood-Schifino. You're too good for this league. He is Kyle Barlow, the coach. Coach Barlow, my friend, as always. Appreciate the time. Thanks for stopping by. Good luck against Kent State tonight. You need a W here. 7 o'clock on ESPN+. Thanks, Coach.
See ya.
That's all for us. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place, right here on the Michigan Sports Network.
Get more for your money this week at Meijer. Right now, when you buy 6 select items, you'll save $3, including Prego pasta sauce, Dannon Light and Fit or Oikos Greek yogurt, and Meijer food storage bags. Plus, Coca-Cola or Pepsi products are buy 6, save $3, plus deposit where applicable. And pay the same low Meijer prices no matter how you shop, in-store or online. Get more for your money at Meijer. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in the Meijer app.
Imagine this, winning big at Soaring Eagle. Do it for the love of money. Saturdays in February, 7 to 11 p.m. Winners choose $3,000 in premium play, $1,500 cash, or 1,500 entries into the February 25th drawing for a Chevy Camaro ZL1. For the love of money, $130,000 giveaway. Only at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Your getaway reimagined. Visit SoaringEagleCasino.com for complete rules and details.
Huge here for all the Mr. Car Wash locations across Michigan. You're going to want to look into that unlimited monthly pass that I use. Superfly Hayes, my producer, uses it. I can get my SUV washed as often as I like for one low price. You can sign up today. Just go to MrCarWash.com or stop by your local Mr. Car Wash location here in Michigan for the one close to you. And to get that unlimited pass, go to MrCarWash.com.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Huge here for my good friend Tom Rosenbach. Now, he's a managing partner at Bean Garter. They are one of America's top accounting and business firms, and they're stronger than ever before with their new partnership with Dorn Mayhew from the east side of Michigan. If you're a small business, big business, and you're looking for the professionals who can help your business on any tax or business need you have, go to BeanGarter.com. That is BeanGarter.com. And we're close to March Madness, so be looking for our huge bracket challenge where you could win big cash, courtesy of Tom Rosenbach and his team from Bean Garter. We'll have more details in the coming weeks. But if you're a business decision maker or owner and you're looking for professionals to help your business, contact Tom Rosenbach and his team at Bean Garter. BeanGarter.com.